I'll try.
Off the cuff. We got to go off the cuff. Okay, so 3, 2, 1. Hey guys, welcome back to the Qualcomm Daily Min podcast. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Taya.
Okay, we're going to look at one of the Qualcomm topics today. What's our topic today, Taya?
Today we're talking about manners.
Ooh, manners. As a Canadian, manners are very important to me. Okay, so I want to hear your views on manners. What's our first question?
Our first question is, what are some examples of bad manners on public transportation? Ooh. Okay,
I'll step in. Okay, so bad manners on public transportation is the elderly. They try to enter the subway without actually letting people exit first. So they always try to push into the subway instead of letting everyone get out of the subway. That is super bad manners in my book. Like it's like have these people that's doesn't make sense. Like that the logic it even exists for an elevator too. You have to let people You have to let people exit before you enter that.
I think people are pretty good at that in Korea, though, from what I've seen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have other examples of bad manners on public transportation?
Obviously, like, if you see someone who is, again, an elderly or pregnant or whatever, and you don't give up your seat for them, if you're, like, a young, able-bodied person.
That's
just why? Why would you not do that?
That's a pet peeve of mine too. When I see a teenage boy sitting in the pregnancy chair on the subway. Yeah. So that really kind of
especially those.
Yeah.
But well, also I guess don't talk too loud.
Don't talk too loud. Yep.
Like ha 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 laugh through the entire subway.
Right, yeah, because people are just trying to get to work and just don't make it uncomfortable for the people around you.
I think it's all about that, not making it uncomfortable for other people.
Public etiquette.
Yeah, public etiquette, definitely.
Okay. Let me look at number 2. What are some examples of good manners on public transportation?
Well, the exact opposite of that. Do give up your seat for someone that you think might need the seat. Yeah, just mind your own business. A lot of people here on the subway, they just watch videos or watch K-dramas or something, just minding their own business.
Yeah. I don't want to sound like we did bad manners on there's actually good I've experienced a lot of good manners too. Like when I first came to Korea, and I would be there would be people seeing I would be holding something and they were like, oh no, let me hold on to that, let me hold it on, while they had a chair and I was standing up. They offered to carry it for me because they saw it was kind of a burden, and so I've experienced a lot of good manners as well.
That's cute. Yeah.
Yeah, and I do often experience people go, no, you take the chair. I'm like, but then I have to be, no, sorry, no, it's okay. I'm getting off at the next station.
Oh, it's always I'm getting off actually. Oh, that one time I was on the bus and I fell down because I was so I was writing lyrics on the bus, and I just fell down. Yeah. And this really old man, this ajushi wanted to offer me a seat, but I was like, no, in my head, no, you're an older man, sit down, please. I just wanted to get off the next time.
Oh my god. I think I faked actually getting off, saying no, it's my next stop, and I faked getting off, and just because I was just being over polite.
Yeah.
Do you want to read number 3?
Ooh, what are some bad manners that you absolutely hate?
Oh, so this is a pet peeve for you.
I don't a lot of people here in Korea spit a lot. I mean, I don't know, is that bad manners? But I'm
I'm often very guilty of that.
Ooh, but just on the street, I'm
it's because I have a big nose and I breathe through my nose, so it's just if I have, I don't wear, and I refuse to wear a mask. So if there's too much micro dust,
I mean, it's people do it here all it's kind of normal here for some reason. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Is that considered manners? I don't know.
Well, yeah, it's bad manners that you hate, right?
I guess. Pet peeve of mine.
Yeah, pet peeve. I guess, for me, it's people the bali and pushing without acknowledging that you've disrupted someone. So not saying sorry, thank you. In Canada, Canadians are known for saying sorry a lot. Or and even so it's not hearing that is kind of, that's something I hate.
Just being appreciative of when other people help you. Also in general waiting staff.
Here's a bad.
Be polite.
Here, okay. This is my pet peeve that I like, but when people, this is bad. When people talk while eating.
Oh.
I don't like seeing the food in people's mouths while they talk.
I might be guilty of that.
Yeah. But, so like, I'm like, please, I don't think what's going to come out of your mouth is that important. Just finish what you're eating and then you could tell me instead of just. But my sister, even her pet peeve is people chewing with their mouth open. And she just goes bonkers. My sister hates people chewing food with their mouth open and people that crack their knuckles. She hates that.
I do that.
Yeah, I do that too.
But like chewing loudly is sometimes in some cultures, it just shows that you're like really enjoying the food.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Do you want to look at number 4?
Yes. Do you think people are more polite or rude now than in the past? Oh.
I think it's case by case.
Yeah, it depends,
I mean, I think now I would say people are. It's Canada. I think people were more polite in the past than they are. I think the modern generation they're not as polite as people. But yeah, in the past. But then in Korea too, like there was because of the age level discrimination and all that stuff. People like the elderly, someone that's older can be impolite to someone that's younger.
Right.
That what used to be stronger in the past, but I think now it's kind of like the level, and so everyone is everyone should hear.
Very much a case by case. Like there's rude people everywhere. There's nice people everywhere. There's nice young people. There's nice old people. In general, I think these kind of things are very hard to like generalize.
I think actually now that the pandemic's over and people are able to go out, they're very thankful for the moment. So I think now, like this year, I think there's been an upflux of politeness.
Oh, that's so sweet.
So
I would like to believe that's true, definitely, yeah.
Well, and then they go home and they say evil things on the internet.
Oh, that's my biggest pet peeve. I just don't understand why people feel the need to like spread hate in this world.
It's just anger displacement.
Right. I think it's very much because people are not happy with themselves in their own life, and they need to like take it out on something else, on someone else.
Listen, I've dated a bunch of girls. They've always had a bad day at work, but I'm always the one that gets the flack. Like, they come home angry, and they just displace it on me.
Right. I think you can't really take that kind of stuff personal then either, because like it's not it's not on you.
Right.
It's just someone else having
needing
that space to take it out.
Like,
in general, when they're rude to like someone, like in public too, if they don't have manners, if they are rude to like waiting staff, I think it's nothing that you did probably as a waiter. It's just that they're having a bad day and they're just, nothing you can do. But
number 5, let's look at that one. Do you recall someone who is often rude?
I think I've been really my dad can sometimes be rude.
Okay, tell us, how can he be rude?
He's just very like, this needs to happen this way, and like he doesn't really listen to other people. He doesn't let other people talk a lot of times.
Okay.
So like, he's a businessman. So like, if he's on the phone with someone, he just be talking over people the entire time. Like, listen, no, this is how we're gonna do it. Yeah. I would not want to work with him.
Well, I'm sure he's a great leader, office leader, boss. I can't recall a specific person, but I do know some people how they're rude when they go to a restaurant because they know they're going to be tipping the waiter. They treat the staff like when my water my coffee's empty. Why you should oh, would you like a refill? Of course I want a refill. And so I do know some people that treat people badly because they'll be rude because they know it's part of they think that they're allowed to do this because they're also, it's part of the service that they're paying for.
Entitlement.
Yeah. So I think
I like to not be around people like that. So I think from my friends, I couldn't think of anyone if they were, they probably wouldn't be in my life. Like, that's a very obvious red flag to me right away.
It takes all different people to build up the world, I guess.
Yeah.
Number 6, can you read it, please?
Yes. Can you think of some examples of how manners have changed in your country? How are manners different in other countries? Oh, well, Korea is a lot different, definitely, than Europe and everywhere else. Like, especially with the whole, like, hierarchy system. If someone's older, you have to basically speak to them in 존댓말. Like,
존댓말,
basically, you speak to them in a more respectful way. And there's so many things there that,
it's like a social faux pas if you use 반말 to a Korean. I agree with that totally. I think us as foreigners, we're allowed. We're given
we get away with it sometimes.
We get away with it because we're not part of that hierarchy.
Exactly.
Because it's like the old Joseon beliefs, but I've never seen in a Korean book like like the hierarchy. So if someone's your elder, you use 존댓말. If someone's your senior, you can use 반말. But in the case of that, but there's no exception. But also, when you speak to a foreigner, this is the grammar rules that you use.
Right. Also, like Koreans, if they talk to foreigners, they don't really feel the need to use 존댓말 necessarily. I feel like a lot of times.
I have an anecdote about that, but I don't want to get. That's a whole different.
So that's a whole thing. Like, especially also with like, what is it like? You have to like hand.
Two hands. Hands. Or when you're drinking, you have to like turn your head.
Turn away. Like, there's a lot of like social like.
Yeah.
Things you have to.
For Canada, have manners changed? So as I like touched on, Canada's we're known for saying sorry a lot. Like, if two people try to go through the same door, both parties will pause and say sorry and go you first. And even this is hilarious too. And then when there's a bus, if a bus in Toronto gets in an accident, the number will change and say, sorry, I'm not a bus right now. So even our buses say sorry. So I don't think that will change anytime soon.
Right. Cute.
Yeah.
I actually think in Austria, like, before I moved, because I've been away for a couple of years and then I came back, I used to always think that Austrians are very, like, grumpy and, a bit rude, especially, like, the older generation. Like, basically, I think, Austrians are known to be a bit grumpy, but, like, the younger generation, I feel like, actually is a lot, like, friendlier, I think, personally. Like, I noticed when I came back, I was like, you know what? Why did I have that image in my head of like Austrians being so grumpy? Like, maybe it's just, I don't know.
I don't know anything about the manner hierarchy of Austria. I'm going to read number 7. That's okay. Is correcting someone while working considered impolite?
I don't think so. Depends on your intentions behind it. If you're correcting, like, I don't know, someone's grammar, for example, and you're like, they're trying to learn the language, for example, and you want to help them, I think, So, we were talking about another topic about language, right? And, like, we brought up the term, like, monolingual. Growing up, like, there is in English, monolingual, there's the term, like, grammar Nazi. If someone uses the improper grammar or mispronounces a word, they like someone will correct them. Right.
So it was like, oh, grammar Nazi. But then, now that I've lived abroad and actually I see people learn the language, like, I now realize how impolite it can be to correct someone's language.
I actually would like for someone to correct my Korean whenever I say something wrong, because how would I be able to like grow?
You do have. I have to like often when am speaking Korean, I have to give people consent to correct my Korean.
I'd be like telling them like, please correct me if I do say.
If I did say this wrong, if I didn't conjugate this adjective
I just be
correctly,
like blurting out everything just for it to somehow make sense, but then no one tells me how I would actually make it into like an actual proper sentence. For the future.
I think if correcting someone can be impolite if your tone is impolite.
It really always depends on your tone.
Yeah. Do you want to read number 8?
No, that's wrong.
Yeah.
What is something that isn't considered rude but should be? I mean, also people consider different things rude. Like some people would consider it rude if you like sit on your phone the entire time.
Right.
In a conversation and like not look at someone.
Right.
But other people, especially like probably the younger generation, we wouldn't really like, it's normal for us.
I mean,
probably.
yeah, it's a case by case thing. Like I can't sit like things that might irritate me might be totally acceptable.
Right.
I talked about my sister's pet peeve is people chewing with their mouth open. But as you touched on too, people oft in some cultures chewing loudly is considered a compliment.
Right.
For me, something that it should be. Well, again, something that to compare Korean to like Canada is eye contact too.
Oh.
So if you're like the senior or the parent or the boss, when you're scolding someone, when you're or like telling someone they made a mistake, they'll lower their head. In Korea, you're not it's seen as an insult to make eye contact with them.
Really?
So they'll lower their head. So a child will lower their head. But in Canada, like when I was getting scolded by my mother, she's like, "Don't look away. Look me in the eyes. I want you to see how angry I am."
Oh, yeah. Cultural differences.
Cultural differences are.
Yeah.
So I don't. Yeah, it's a case by case. I don't think some things that seem rude to me are actually compliments. Yeah.
And it's a lot about like communicating too. If you consider something rude, just let someone know, but like in a nice way that like, you know, so they know it's considered rude because they might not think of it as being rude or coming across as rude.
Good example. Yeah, good, great. Number 9.
Number 9, when someone is rude in a public place, do you say something or try to ignore the person? Ooh.
I think in this day of society, people just ignore it unless it becomes.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Unless it's like really something big where someone's like obviously being so out of place and like actually like kind of scaring the other person or being like, you know,
disrupting multiple people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or if, you know, if there's a creepy guy,
exactly.
like you know, touching a girl or whatever,
right.
got like forcing himself beyond on a woman, like beyond her boundaries. I think I would speak up for that.
Definitely.
But for me though too, I ignore it. If it's in a public place, I just actually try to leave that place because it's not my concern.
If it's like a person you know, obviously I would tell them. Yeah.
Good. But, yeah. Sorry, there's a fly camera. Keeps buzzing in front of my face.
I think a lot of people nowadays also, they just like pull out their phones and just film everything.
Yeah, like on, World Star.
Yeah, and then put it up on the internet and be like, oh my God, this woman was so rude, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to.
That's the generation we live in.
I don't want to be that person, but also I don't want to be that person that takes that video, is taking that video and then get noticed by the person that's disrupting in public and then try to have to fight that person. I just nope. I don't want anything to do with that. Our last question is, what is the manner in Korean wedding?
Monetary gift, dress code, arriving time.
So yeah, what's I guess the customs or the manners.
Have you been to a Korean wedding?
I've been actually to 2. I don't like weddings. But for Korean for a Korean one, you have to give money. That's correct.
Right. Yeah.
You have to sign the book. You have to. So this is then you have to be in the wedding hall. But then once the bride comes down the aisle and her back's to you, then you're allowed to leave and go to the cafeteria.
What?
I swear. You didn't. What's it like for you? But it's like. When the weddings I went to, like everyone, the wedding comes dun, 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 and then once like the bride's back is to everyone, then half the people get up and they go to the cafeteria, and then they just watch the rest of the wedding on like a teleprompt on like a
That'd be so
CCTV.
sad if that was my wedding.
It's the custom, right?
Oh, I guess.
What's your experience then? I
have actually never been to a Korean wedding, but I heard that they're like very like fast time wise. Like there's like in one day there's going to be like multiple weddings in the same hall. Yeah. So they're just going to basically just like in and out.
Yeah, there has to be like a turnover.
Right.
Yeah.
which I think is very interesting because, you know, in the West it's like, oh, a whole day to like celebrate. It's the whole, And here it's kind of just like more like an appointment that you go to, right?
And then even like the wedding photos are taken a week beforehand.
Right, that too.
But in Canada, if someone had a wedding, it's like, okay, show up at the church at 1 o'clock. Okay, the ceremony is 1 hour. You have to sit in there, cry, go and then they kiss, and then basically there's a 2-hour break, 3-hour break, when the couple has all their wedding photos done, and then everyone meets at the wedding reception and they have food, they drink, they dance,
after party.
But that doesn't exist really in Korea.
I don't know, kind of sad to me. But I guess again, it's just you know, different countries, different customs.
I would like. There's also like the traditional one where they have it at the hanok, where the man wears the blue office, like the Joseon officer gown, and the woman wears the rainbow sleeves and has the circles. I think that's a beautiful wedding.
Right. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I can do both.
I don't think we have much more to talk about manners.
Yeah, that's about manners.
Thank you all for watching Colcom Podcast once again. I've been Jeff.
I'm Taya.
And if you have any further questions about Colcom, you can visit them on their website at colcom.co.kr. Bye-bye.
Bye.